Hello, in this video, I wanted to address the concepts of selecting to live your life in recognition of your being as your sovereign self, and through that, offer perspective of self into what it means for you to choose yourself first. And so, from three-dimensional earthly standpoint, you would classify this as self-love, recognition of self, acknowledging your higher mind, um, possibly even following your intuition. But what it comes down to is you actively currently have a choice to choose your own being and follow your true path forward, probably more than any other time in the past. Of course, time. I always preface time with a caveat, but in your selection of being right now, and so your choice right now rests in your decision whether or not you will allow yourself to recognize your own being. And so that is the kind of the precipice of a fault that we're standing on is, do you choose to walk forward in recognition of your true self, or will you choose something else? The choice, is still a very much of a free will, and it is a decision of yourself of how you will choose to live and how you will choose to function forward, right? uh, but but it is crucial to understand that you're standing at the precipice of that choice. You're standing at the precipice of a recognition that you are, one, capable of making that choice, but two, are giving opportunity of that choice right now. And yet, yes, we can suppress, we can deny, we can come up with excuses of why what I'm saying is not truth, of why this is not resonating with you, or why you should not listen to anything that comes out of my mouth at this point. And it is that could be there as a way, as an excuse, as as a reason why you continue to function in the status quo, because the truth is, living in the status quo that you have previously selected for yourself, it is much easier than making an active choice forward into selection of your own being, not the being that anyone's telling you to select, but your own being, and then stepping into that decision and facing all the changes and all the consequences that will bring when that choice is made. And so the emphasis here, from a three-dimensional standpoint, it is hard because it is fearful. You would be afraid to make those choices if you're still living in the old paradigm of fear-based mindsets. So through your indecision or your decision not to connect with the message, or not to connect with the certain aspects of the message, you would be designing or orchestrating a scenario where this is not your truth. This is not something that um, you want to live forward or listen to or believe. Um, but the message is, are you choosing to listen to yourself? Right. And so, besides any teaching, besides any points, there lies the truth, that there lies the essence of you, not me telling you, but you knowing that if you choose your own self, if you choose to step into your own sovereignty, if you choose to make a decision and declaration statement of I matter, I matter to myself, I matter into this life, I matter into this propagation of my energy forth, then that choice carries consequences in the most beautiful way possible. That choice carries consequences of change. It carries consequences of enlightenment. It carries consequences of knowing. In fact, it carries consequences what ultimately you came here to experience, right? You ultimately came here to experience the place where you can cognitively choose your own self and still participate in this world that you came here to live. So so the awareness of your being now rest with this precipice of choice, the choice that you will be making for yourself, that you have been standing in front of this choice for quite some time. If you have not made this choice and you're hearing this message, this is probably yet another reminder that you're once again have not made the choice that you know inside that you need to make. And so the choice is, how do you choose yourself? And if you do, what does that mean? And if you're choosing not to choose yourself, then what are you choosing instead? And I think that is probably, from the three-dimensional standpoint, in order to survive into the future, that is probably the most crucial point. If it is not you that you're choosing, it is not your truth, it is not your way of living, it is not your way of being. If you're not choosing yourself, what are you choosing? Um, and then see the life unfold around you with that choice. See what life brings forth anytime that you're not choosing yourself. In fact, you probably have decades of experience of what that already looks like. And then the question here is, do you want that forward? Right? Do you want to continue to receive what you have received forward? Now, if you've been happy with the outcomes of your past, if you've been hunkery dorily oblivious to everything that has not been so, then maybe the choice is yes, I will continue this forth, right? But I can feel and already know that the truth inside is you would say no, vibrationally that no longer works for me. Everything that has happened to me in the past, everything, how things have been, how things have propagated, no longer work with me forward, right? And so if they no longer work, then you're standing here deciding where to go forth, right? And the only place to go forth is into your own truth, into listening of your heart, listening into your being, and making the active decision to be yourself, to choose yourself over everything that you have chosen in the past, to choose yourself over everything that you have chosen, where you chose to forgo your being, right? And everything that that has brought into your life. And so choose wisely, because that choice dictates really your propagation forward. It dictates how you interpret your life, how what you manifest into your life, what you bring forth. Um, it dictates the view of yourself in front of this cliff that you're standing on, right? What will you see in the front of you if you're standing on this cliff, and if you're diving off of it, what are you diving into, right? What is your path forward? And really, whether or not you land on the poofy cushion at the bottom, or you start flying, or you land into a bed of thorns, is derived from your decision forward unto yourself. So, like, all options exist, all versions of you diving off of this cliff exist, right? You can imagine the infinite number of possibilities that you can experience when you take that dive. Heck, do you have a parachute? Are you paragliding? Are you just free falling? And then what's at the bottom? How far down are you going? And so that is it. You're standing on the cliff of possibilities, and then you're actively making that choice. And so what you choose to resonate with, will you make the choice into yourself forward, will determine how that fall will become. What will you land on? Will you fly? Will you soar? Will you land somewhere comfy and cushy, or will you just splat to the ground? And so, probably not the concept anyone would choose, the latter. But there's definitely a lot of possibilities of everything that is beautiful and that is gorgeous. And I think there's more possibility of beauty and positive outcome that exist, as opposed to plunge to your death. Um, you I can only think of one negative, and I can think of a sea of possibilities. And so I don't listen to me, don't listen to this video, don't listen to anyone. Just listen to your heart and decide, will you choose yourself today? And then make that choice every day. every day make that choice into your living. So thank you for listening and happy choosing.